Welcome, dear Sunnybank Bible Study Family, to our daily Gospel Meditation. On this Friday, 24 of July, 2026. Together, we will reflect on the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 13, verses 18 to 23. The Heart's Harvest, Protecting the Seed of Peace.
Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving straight into some truly profound ancient biblical wisdom today, and we're going to discover exactly how the interior soil of our hearts directly impacts our faith and, honestly, our daily peace. We're looking at a really beautiful reflection from the Sunnybank Bible Study Family, and we're going to unpack how their insights on tending to our inner life can literally transform the way we experience the world around us. So let's just get right into it.
Okay, so let's dive into this. Has this ever happened to you? You're feeling this beautiful moment of peace, or maybe a sudden, crystal-clear realization of God's goodness, and then, bam, it's just abruptly snatched away by a stray worry or the sudden noise of a super busy day. We so often receive spiritual inspiration with genuine joy, right? Only to find that our crazy schedules just completely drown it out. And this brings us to a fascinating realization about how the condition of our interior soil, our heart's soil, actually dictates the very survival of our faith.
And actually, this brilliantly illustrates the core message of Jesus' famous parable of the sower from the Gospel of Matthew. The fundamental lesson he's sharing here is that spiritual fruitfulness, it's actually not about the strength of the seed itself, not at all. Instead, it's entirely about the condition of the soil that the seed lands in. It's an invitation for us to move way beyond simply hearing words, to truly understanding them with our souls. So, to fully grasp this, we really need to look at the 4 specific soil conditions he describes.
So, first up is the edge of the path. This condition represents a situation where someone hears the word, but they don't quite grasp it. Because the interior soil is hard and unyielding, meaning there's no true comprehension taking place, the evil one simply comes along and snatches away what was sown in the heart. The seed literally never even had a chance to penetrate the surface.
Then we have the patches of rock. Now here, a person hears the word and actually welcomes it right away with massive joy. But there's a critical problem here. The soil is shallow. There's no real root system. Because the soil condition is so rocky, this joyful faith just doesn't last. The second trials or persecutions arise on account of the word, well, that faith quickly falls away. The environment simply couldn't sustain it under pressure.
The third condition is the seed sown in thorns. In this scenario, the word is heard, sure, but it has to compete with a harsh, suffocating environment. The persistent worries of this world and the really aggressive lure of material riches act like these invasive thorns. They ruthlessly grow up alongside the faith and ultimately just choke the word out, meaning it produces absolutely nothing.
Now, what's really fascinating about this is how perfectly this ancient metaphor translates to our modern struggles. On one hand, we have the thorns of worry, which, let's face it, today look like mounting bills, jam-packed schedules, and that constant, demanding digital buzz of our phones. These are the things that crowd out our peace. But contrast that with the rich soil on the other side. This soil is characterized by true understanding, moments of actual stillness, and deep spiritual roots.
And the promise of that rich soil is absolutely incredible. Jesus says the one who truly understands the word yields a massive harvest, producing 100, 60, or 30 times what was sown. To put that into perspective for a second, a standard agricultural yield back then was maybe 5 to 10 times on a good day. So we're talking about an exponential, miraculous return on faith, all unlocked by the condition of the soil and the presence of true understanding.
To help us actually cultivate that rich soil right now, the Sunnybank Reflection invites us to do something very specific. I'm going to ask you to take a breath, and we are going to observe about 10 seconds of deliberate, peaceful silence together. This is a period of holy breath, a chance to let this explanation of the Lord settle deeply and warmly into your heart so that a response of love can be prepared. Let's take that stillness right now. Okay, welcome back.
Coming out of that pause, we can definitely better grasp this crucial concept, deep root. The gospel suggests that spiritual wholeness is found when we allow the word to take this deep root within us. And this requires active understanding. We have to actively tend the soil of our interior garden. How? By clearing away the rocks of our own self-reliance and pulling up the thorns of our unnecessary worries.
Let's move to how this builds, because you might be wondering, so how do we actually build this into our modern daily lives? Well, we do it by practicing a daily sacrament of nurturing within our regular routines. It's really about taking these high-level spiritual concepts and turning them into practical, actionable daily habits that protect the soil of our faith.
And one of the absolute best, most actionable ways to do this is through what we call protective presence. Think about your family meals for a second. Practicing protective presence means deliberately setting aside the worries of the world, leaving the smartphones in another room, dropping the stressful work talk, so you can truly listen to the hearts of those you love. It is a highly practical way to literally guard the soil of your heart right there at the dinner table.
Another super powerful practice is gentle weeding. This is a really compassionate, intentional way of monitoring our speech. It means we actively choose to replace our words of anxiety with words of unhurried encouragement. And yeah, that might mean biting our tongues when the kids spill the juice for the third time today. But by doing this gentle weeding in our conversations, we ensure that the fragile seed of faith in our children, our grandchildren, or our friends isn't choked out by the stress and the lures of material riches that we might accidentally pass on to them.
So the crucial point here is this. We are called to find our spiritual strength by becoming gardeners of grace. When we practice that protective presence and gentle weeding, we are actively providing a sanctuary of peace in our homes. We're recognizing that the kingdom yields its absolute best harvest when we cultivate an environment where everyone's faith is given the rich soil it needs to flourish.
Now, there is a truly beautiful prayer from the Sunnybank Reflection that perfectly captures this whole goal. It goes, Lord Jesus, forgive us for the times we have allowed the worries of the world to choke your peace in our hearts. Grant us the grace to be rich soil for your kingdom, that we may understand your love and share its harvest. It is just such a humble request to maintain the right interior conditions for faith to grow.
To bring it all together, when we walk with this deep understanding, the results are just completely transformative. Our very ordinary, modern homes become sacred places where the rich soil of Christ's love naturally produces a harvest of kindness. And the best part? That harvest doesn't just stay indoors. It overflows and blesses literally everyone we meet in our daily lives.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought to carry with you. What unnecessary worry will you gently weed out of your interior garden today? As you go about your day, I warmly wish that the seed of His peace takes deep, lasting root in your home. Thank you so much for walking through this with me. Keep tending to that rich soil, and I really hope you're leaving today eager to cultivate your faith.